Yes. If not, where is he ministering? You see, when a person says he's a minister, there is a place he is ministering. That's why in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you have Minister of Education, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Finance. You must have a ministry you are ministering, where you are ministering. That is where you can be called a minister. And that's the background. So you cannot just say anybody who is a faithful brother in the church and you refer to him as a minister. No, it doesn't work that way. The qualifying question is, where is he ministering? No. That assertion is not right. The Bible College is a preparatory ground. It prepares people who will be taking up ministerial job. You can be prepared and you didn't see a job to take over. You didn't see where to take up a job. So you cannot refer yourself to be. That is why, for people to understand this, when you graduate from Federal University of Technology after reading mechanical engineering, you are not an engineer. You have to be inducted by the Nigerian Society of Engineers, wherein you have a company and you are either working for a government and you are handling an engineering project, you are referred to as an engineer. So the mistake people make is that when somebody just finished from the university, read engineering, they call him an engineer. It is that transposition that people have now transferred it into the church. Once you just finish from Bible college, they say you are a minister. No, you are not. There must be a place where you are bearing your influence on, where you are ministering. If you have run 4x100 meter, you will understand what a mantle is. As you are running, what you are holding in your hand, you hand over that baton to another person. In the spiritual sense, it's what's referred to as the mantle. So it's not everybody that is given the mantle to carry. The mantle is a burden of responsibility given to you to take care of God's children. So principal mantle bearers are the preachers, and by extension the elders. We don't have prophets, we don't have apostles now. You understand me? So the elders there are after the preachers. So when you listen to the way it was arranged in that passage. So the point I'm making is that if you are not in this category, you are not bearing any mantle. Well, let me surprise you a little bit. The media crew that is standing here, if I am addressing you today, where me that is addressing you, you are my pulpit.
Wow.
It is where the preacher stands. Anywhere the preacher stands to speak to people is a pulpit. There's no special area. And the other way around, the pulpit is symbolism of the preacher. So when you say the pulpit is not doing well, what you are saying is that the preacher is not doing well. He mounts the pulpit. He stands there to marshal directive of what God has given to him to give to his people. So one of the problems we have is that we have people that don't know what they are. If you know, for example, I'm a preacher of the church in Upagada, you don't climb that pulpit. You don't come there. Because I don't give you, because you must be fit to be used. Those of you who watch Manchester, Chelsea and the rest, you hear, oh, Lionel Messi will be out of the season for like 3 weeks because of a knee injury. His trainer says he's not yet fit. You must be fit. Not everybody climbs there. And like I've been teaching and I will teach today again, even through this medium, I want to tell every man that God has blessed us with pulpits. Our homes, our children, our wife, our pulpits. Let us do all the preaching and evangelism there. When we succeed there to put our families and our wives under check and they live quality life, that will qualify us to come to a bigger pulpit. But you see, men who climb the bigger pulpit, some of them have default in this home pulpit. God has blessed us with the pulpit. For those of you that are students, you have your friends, they are the pulpit. Share your experience there. Tell them about Jesus there. If you are able to talk to your friends and win them to Christ, you are now using your pulpit well. But the pulpit in the figurative term of the one where the preacher stands, very important. He stays there to charge God's children. He stays there to encourage God's children. He stays there to rebuke sin. Because if he does not rebuke sin, the pulpit will be one-sided. If He must rebuke sin, so that's why I've been telling people that when you preach a sermon, it must have three qualities. It must speak the truth, it must expose error, and must call the sinner back to the honor. That's why you hear the prodigal son say when he came to his senses, he returned to the Father. The purpose of the preacher now is to make people come to their senses so that they can return to the master. And those who have already returned should stay faithful. Now that is idolatry. You cannot buy it. Anywhere the preacher stands in his pulpit, if the people gather somewhere here and I gather and talk to them, that's my pulpit. I am the symbolism of the pulpit. And say a lot of people. That's why I said if people know the value of who a preacher is, they'll be paying him well. Are you with me? He will earn respect, and he will know that people are looking up to him to give direction. But because people don't pay well, the preacher is not cared for, and the preacher himself does not even know who he is. He reduces himself to only wearing suit and claiming title. In fact, your job claims the title for you. If I have ministered to you, for example, you have invited me to speak, I have spoken and it has made sense to you. You can now come and say, oh, my minister, thank you. You know why? I have ministered to you. Right? You understand what I'm saying? That is when I will earn that title. If I led you to evangelism and we have gone to preach, and we have preached and people have come out and they have accepted Christ and they have been baptized, you can say, wow, evangelist, well done. At the function I'm performing there is the function of an evangelist. Well, first and foremost, you are leading me to different type of members now and different type of preachers. We have wheelbarrow preachers. A wheelbarrow preacher or a wheelbarrow member is someone that is anywhere you have kept him, that's where he remains. You see, when the congregation understands what it means to be a minister, and when they are engaging a minister, they understand the job definition of a minister. Based on that job definition, they can evaluate the minister, whether he is meeting up. From what you are saying, I can conclude he's not meeting up. He comes only on Sunday. And such a congregation should do well to say, minister, sorry, you are not able to discharge all your responsibilities. Therefore, we may no longer need your service. But who can say so when the members themselves do not understand the left from their right? And it is because they do not understand, so they are not giving the minister the attention they're supposed to give to the minister. So in that process, the minister has gone for greener pastures. Let me tell us, for those of you who are younger, your generation, if we should begin now to think of how to come together and care for preachers. If the church is done well, it will be for your own advantage. If you have a preacher that is not firing from all cylinders as expected, you will not be strong. A time is coming when there will be need for you to defend your faith and you will not be able. It's because it's garbage in, garbage out. It's a minister that charges your soul. It's the one that prepares you for the battle ahead. And when he's not there to prepare you, himself has not even prepared himself because hunger is pursuing him and the need of his family is disturbing him. So you can see that the church is heading towards the direction where we are going to be having, in fact for me, I'm sorry to say this on set, I fear for the church in the next 25 years if we don't redress the step. We are people that are not interested in going to the pulpit because of the work of the pulpit. They have been called by other necessities of life. A friend of mine was telling me today about a young man who came to me last 2 weeks and said, look, he had decided to go and take up a job as a preacher in one congregation. I said, good and fine. He got there and then the members told him that no, he shouldn't worry, he should wait, let them preach sermon first. And when I was told the story, I simply asked myself, if I was the one who got there to that congregation and tell them, I want to be their preacher, would they have been bold to tell me to wait, let them preach another sermon? The reason is that I've looked at him. Most of you, you know what, if you hire a striker, you know what you should expect from the striker. It should score goal like Haaland is scoring. It should score. It should perform. So when you hire a striker and he's not performing, and the striker you hire to score goal like Haaland, you pay him big money. So it's a two-way traffic. So those of you should begin to calm down now. If possible, the best I can beg you, if possible, you should raise money. Let it be noted Raise money. If you can raise money up to 500,000, so that we can organize state by state ICT training for preachers. With ICT, the preacher can learn new skills even from afar, because a lot of them are behind because they don't have access. Whereas some of us have so much access to material that we lack, we don't even know what to do with the material. So that's another way. Because if you don't prepare the church for tomorrow, if you escape, what of your child? What of your child? Because I fear for the person that trains my child. So for me, if you ask me, I'll tell you that that church have lost it. Because the church must start from a functional children class to a functional youth class to a functional adult class. Most of us who are firing, like some of you think we are firing, it's because of the kind of preparation we had. And the church is the best ground. 2 Timothy 2:2. He said, the things you have heard from me, commit it to faithful men who will in turn commit it to others. That's the square.